I haven't seen my father in 15 years. Why am I not surprised his obsessions are still getting me in trouble? As a kid, I believed my father's stories. As an adult, I believed his stories were fantasy.
Scarlet, we all owe your father a great debt. We will do whatever it takes to get him back. This is magic. Dark magic.
I put a spell on you. What's mine? Stop the things you do.
Let's tango! So, Monsieur Shaw, do you have an explanation for the horrors unfolding around us?
These symbols, this vessel, it's all connected!
I stared into the abyss, and the abyss gave me a gun.
I think I'm in love.
Use the staff, now!
Where are we?
It's not a matter of where, Diego, but when.
Time travel. Great. Let's find something to shoot.
Do not fret! Your savior is here! Scarlet, look out!
I put a spell on you.
Oh, there do I see my mother. Oh, there do I see my father. Oh, there do they call to me. Oh, there do they call to me. Oh, there do they call to me.
That bow's a little big for you, isn't it?
My mother made it for me. Said I'd grow into it.
Find your way home. You are free.
We're taking our ashes to the highest peak in the realms.
Ashes?
It was our last wish.
Where must we go?
To a realm beyond your own.
There's only one person who can get you where you need to go. They call me Mimir, smartest man alive. First, you need to cut off my head.
Wait, what?
That axe you got. You gotta handle her special.
I know you're a god. Not of this realm, but there's no mistaking it. He doesn't know, does he? About your true nature? Or his own?
The longer you wait, the more damage you do. He will resent you, and you may lose him forever.
You're next! I'll rip your head off!
There are consequences to killing a god.
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Power. This weapon, any weapon, comes from here. But only when tempered by this. By the discipline, the self-control of the one who wields it. Open the door! We need your help!
This is no ordinary illness. The boy's true nature, your true nature, fights within him.
So I'm a man now. Like you?
No. We are not men. We are more than that. The responsibility is far greater.
Can you kill something that big?
Pre-order and get 3 shield skins for in-game.
PlayStation.
Oh, good. You're here. Come on, hurry up! Sometimes, when you meet someone who's going to change your life, you just know it, I guess. Let's leave. For real.
Talk to me, Chloe.
I know I fucked up. You don't scare me.
Who are you?
Shit. I've got to help Rachel.
Rachel, run!
You're the only one in the world I can trust.
Spider-Man's got a lot on his plate. Bad guys at every corner, relationships to work on, a real job. He may be swamped sometimes, but that doesn't mean you have to be while playing Spider-Man. That's why we've come up with 7 tips that will help you get started with your web-slinging career. Okay, first things first, every crime fighter needs a map, right? So the faster you can repair these Oscorp radio towers, the faster you can get out to punching bad guys. Otherwise, you're going to be staring at a completely fuzzed out map for a decent chunk of the game. An effective Spider-Man needs to have full awareness of their environment, so make repairing the towers the first thing you do. While combat skills and defensive maneuvers are essential aspects to your repertoire, there really isn't anything more essential to the Spider-Man experience, trademark, than web slinging. So if you're into that kind of thing, I would recommend diving straight into that particular skill tree first. You'll earn some useful abilities to help you traverse the city better and make the opening hours of the game much more invigorating. Aim to get the point launch, quick recovery, and charge jump as soon as possible, and you'll be flying through the city in record time. As Uncle Ben once said, with new suits comes new suit powers, or something like that. I don't know, my memory's kinda hazy. But by combining suit powers with your gadgets along with the 3 suit mod slots, you'll be able to create some spectacular combos. For example, if you're fighting a bunch of goons, you could shoot a loaded up web bomb, then let out an ear-splitting solo with a rock-out power to send them all flying. Maybe you'll want to take to the skies and pair the suspension matrix with low gravity for some serious hang time. Or you could just let your robots do the dirty work for you. Use a Spider Drone and Spider Bro for a tag team takedown. Spider-Man's combat is all about creatively combining the effects of your gadgets, suit powers, and suit mods together for disastrous results. Be a responsible crime fighter and take time to mix and match and see what works best. That's how Uncle Ben would want it. You don't want to let him down, do you? As much fun as it is to swing through the city, there are still a lot of things to see on the streets of New York. So take some time out of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Manning to appreciate the details on the ground floor. Give people high fives, eavesdrop on the chatter, check out the iconic New York City landmarks. Some good Samaritans will even give you tips on crimes nearby.
Spidey's on the case.
Later on in the game, you'll come across stations that allow you to take on challenges. They might be combat or stealth focused, or might have you chasing a drone across the city rooftops.
Got it.
Make sure not to skip these though, as they'll reward you with up to 6 very valuable challenge tokens that you'll need later on to upgrade your gadgets and suit powers. As any good piece of Marvel entertainment should be, Spider-Man is loaded with Easter eggs and references to the character's extensive lore.
Hey, my Mark I web shooters.
For example, there are several landmarks that are direct nods to famous Marvel characters and organizations. When you're not out fighting crime, be sure to set some time aside to search for these references. It may not benefit your progression directly, but it's worth doing, if only to be in awe of all the little details packed into the world. If you're a completionist and can't possibly imagine yourself not getting all of Spider-Man's spiffy new suits, then you're going to want to listen up. In order to unlock the final outfit, you'll need to complete each of Manhattan's 9 districts. That means finishing every single side quest, completing all the activities, and finding every single collectible. That's why I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not skip the crime activities. If you see a red exclamation icon pop up in your minimap, make that your top priority. You're going to want to complete as many as you can over the course of the main story, otherwise you're going to be spending a whole lot of time wandering the streets searching for thugs to beat up. See a crime happening? Take them down. That's the Spidey way. So those were 7 tips that will help you get started being a better Spider-Man than I ever was when I started the game. If you have any more suggestions for things people should know before starting, make sure to leave in the comments below, and check back on GameSpot.com for much more Spider-Man coverage. Thanks for watching.
I think you better open up that register.
All right,
Okay.
then, I'll fight you for it.
Cash can be hard to come by in the early hours of Red Dead Redemption 2, but if you want the best for Arthur, you're going to need a lot of it. The question you need to ask yourself first is, what kind of outlaw do you want to be?
I need your money now.
If you plan on leading the life of an honorable gunslinger, there are some practices you might want to avoid. Here's a spoiler-free guide on how to make some fast cash. Let's start with a few honorable ways to make a quick buck. Hunting plays a big role in Red Dead Redemption 2. Animals have a number of uses. You can skin them and use their pelts in crafting, cook their meat for sustenance, and donate their carcasses and meat to Pearson back at camp to keep the camp's food supplies up. Or you could sell them to the butcher. The selling price will depend on the hunt quality. Sloppy kills, for instance, won't net you as much as a clean kill. The return isn't always great, but if you're headed back to town and spot a wild boar, there's no harm in taking him out. If hunting animals is a bit slow for your taste, stop by the sheriff's office and see if he has any work for you. These jobs typically pay pretty well and offer a bit of storytelling for those interested, some of which are also quite entertaining.
Keep your hands up, buddy. They only want you for questioning.
If you loot a dead NPC, you'll lose honor. However, you can loot the carcasses of bad guys guilt-free. They don't always have a lot of money on them, but many of them carry valuables and trinkets. You can then donate these items to your camp, or you could sell them to a fence for a nice chunk of change.
Sure, I'll take a look.
Occasionally, you'll come across someone who's been bitten by a snake or stuck in a bear trap. Desperate, the stranger will ask Arthur for help. They won't have anything to give you right then and there, but later you will stumble on the stranger outside of a store and they will let you pick out anything in the store for free. I always get the most expensive item I can find, like this $100 suit. Now it's time to put on our bandana and earn some cash outside of the law.
Don't move a goddamn muscle.
Ain't no need for that. What do you want?
Money and nothing else.
The most obvious way to get a quick buck is to, well, rob someone. Approach them and open up the interaction menu. From there, you should see the option to rob. If you want to go bigger, you can also hit stores.
This is a robbery. Open the register now.
This is more lucrative, but also a bit riskier. If the job goes south, you might have a tough time making friends in that town. This wouldn't be a Western if you couldn't rob trains. A little more preparation goes into robbing a train, but it's usually worth the trouble. First, make sure your mask is on. Once you spot a train, ride close to it and hop on. After taking out the guards, make your way through the carts, holding up anyone and taking everything that isn't bolted down. Once you've had your fill, or when the law catches on, jump ship. If your horse is still in tow, you can even hop right back on and ride off into the sunset. Help people in other types of random encounters, and they'll often give you tips on where to find more avenues for money. like homesteads ripe for robbery. So yeah, it pays not to be a jerk sometimes. Well, until you need to be a jerk and rob someone's house. But they're mostly bad people, I think. Another great way to earn money is by simply playing the story. There are certain missions that will net you a sizable take that will keep Arthur going for weeks. However, most of these missions don't come until later. If you find some other good ways of earning cash, let your fellow outlaws know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out our new Red Dead show called Quick Draw, where every week we focus on something different about Red Dead Redemption 2.
Hi, I'm Gary Sneathen, the Chief Technology Officer at Crystal Dynamics. In this video, we will be showing you how we enhanced Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration for the PlayStation 4 Pro platform. This video is best viewed on a 4K device with the settings at 2160p. Rise of the Tomb Raider is a beautiful game on all platforms, but with the increased power of the PlayStation 4 Pro, we were able to bring unprecedented visuals to a console for the first time. Welcome to Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration PlayStation 4 Pro tech video. Rise of the Tomb Raider will support 3 different visual modes when played on a PlayStation 4 Pro, with each focusing on a different area. 4K resolution, high frame rate, and enriched visuals. There's an option for everyone, allowing players to customize their experience. 4K resolution mode renders gameplay at stunning 4K resolution while targeting 30 frames per second. The increased resolution offers much more detail, which benefits textures, silhouettes, effects, and specular highlights. Players who prefer gaming with a higher frame rate can select the high frame rate mode, which supports up to 60 frames per second at 1080p resolution. This mode offers smoother and more fluid animation while exploring, and even tighter control during combat. Lastly, there is an enriched visuals mode, which renders 1080p at 30 frames per second and uses the extra power on both new and existing rendering features to improve overall image quality. Hardware tessellation greatly improves the detail of rough surfaces in the ground, rocks, and bricks. Silhouettes and surface features are geometrically represented when viewed up close, making the surfaces feel even more tangible and realistic. The graphics power of the PlayStation 4 Pro allows Rise of the Tomb Raider to use anisotropic filtering across all surfaces, so when viewed from an angle, the quality of the textures in the distance is greatly enriched. Additional dynamic foliage was added so that even more of the plants and trees are dynamic. The plants bend when Lara walks past and the trees blow in the wind. With the increased power available on the PlayStation 4 Pro, we were able to enhance the geometry in objects like buildings, so they have significantly more detail when viewed at a distance. As a result, hub spaces feel even larger now and aid the player's exploration. All level of detail distances were retuned so that objects retain higher resolution as they recede into the distance. Lara's hair during gameplay has been upgraded to use the same higher quality hair that we use in cinematics. Sun shadows were softened to further improve the natural look in outdoor environments. We improved the depth of field effect to create a nice bokeh effect on bright highlights visible in the scene. We're really excited to bring new technology to consoles in Rise of the Tomb Raider. With PlayStation 4 Pro, players will be able to pick and choose their playing preference: stunning 4K resolution, smooth high frame rate, or enriched visuals mode. The award-winning Rise of the Tomb Raider 20-year celebration includes all previously released downloadable content, a new single-player story chapter, Blood Ties, that can also be experienced in PlayStation VR, new co-op support in Endurance mode, 5 classic Lara skins, and more. Thanks for watching. Please visit TombRaider.com for more details.
Peggy 12. for the players.
Underneath the bridge, the top has sprung a leak, and I'm living off of grass, and the drippings from the ceiling. It's okay to eat fish, 'cause they don't have any feelings.
PlayStation.
Supernatural nonsense.
You love all this as much as I do.
No.
Nate, these guys are playing for keeps.
Yeah, so?
He would go to the ends of the earth for you, Nate.
Now what do? We jump?
Just don't ask him to.
Shall we?
You get off on all this. Cheating death.
But that's not how it will end. This is how it will end.
Sorry. Sully! We don't get to choose how we start in this life.
Had to try.
Real greatness. It's what you do with the hand you dealt.
You're a crook, right? What do you want from me?
I see great things in our future, kid. Great things.
PlayStation.
Peggy 16.